NBWildman here, back with you again. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about setting up your super secret deer spot. So I'm really not going to tell you how I pick out my super secret deer spots. That's just a little too much information to give out on the internet. But needless to say, this right back here is my latest and greatest new super secret deer spot. That is what I'm going to show you next, how I set it up once I've kind of found my spot. So I've looked at my maps and I've done some scouting and I've decided there's deer in this area. You know, some tracks and some droppings, things like that. And did a little scouting around and my suspicions were correct. So looks like there's some deer in this area. So I'm going to set this up with a mineral lick. It's May the 4th and just about the right time to be getting in the woods with some mineral and some salt for those deer. So we're going to set up a camera. We're going to set this up and I'm going to show you basically how I set the spot up. And that way I can come back in a couple of weeks or so and I can show you another video and hopefully get you some good pictures of what's been here at this bait and show you some success with the spot. So we'll name this super secret spot number 1 and I'll show you what I put out for mineral and for attractant and then we'll do a couple of different spots with some different things and compare the results. So stick with me here and I'm going to show you how to set this spot up in just a matter of minutes. First thing I do once I select my spot is I make sure I know what the directions are, of course. So straight ahead of me here is north. And when I pick my tree location, of course I want to be looking in New Brunswick. We get a lot of northwest wind in the fall. So I'm going to be looking basically from back in this area. Haven't yet selected my tree yet. I'm pretty certain it's going to be either back this straight runway here or maybe even up on that side hill there. I have to clear a little tiny bit right there, but I think I'm okay. Cut a few of those little twigs out of the way and then I can get over there about 90 to 100 yards over that way, which is probably what I'll do. That basically has me looking, you know, kind of northwest, which is perfect for the wind. So once you figure all that out, it's just a matter of setting your location here. So all I do first is I just clear away a little bit of the brush, any leaves or anything that's going down. I just want to kind of get it down to the dirt. It doesn't have to be a big deal. I just do it with my boots. And it doesn't have to be a big spot. It just has to be down to the kind of to the grass. So that's kind of basically what you're looking for right there. You don't want to put your mineral right on the leaves. You want to paw that stuff out of the way. So at this spot, I'm going to go with a bag of the original deer cane and a bag of the Big & J's legit mineral attractant. Now, most of the stuff that you buy in stores is garbage, and it's just designed to get you to spend money. But if you want to take a look at my product rant, there's a link to it up in the corner right here, where I kind of go into a little bit more detail about each of the products, or a bunch of products that you can buy off the shelf. These are 2 products that I swear work well, and I'm going to demonstrate on super secret spot number 1 just how well they do work. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Big & J's. I'm going to pour that all on the ground. I'm going to pour it right at the back of the spot that I just scraped up. And I'm going to put my deer cane all in a circle, all in a spot right there at the front. And then right in between those 2 spots, I'm going to put, as I always do at all my sites, I'm going to put one of these 12-pound trophy rocks or Jurassic rocks. It's just a big natural salt rock. So basically once everything's out of the package, it's going to look just like that right there. So this Big & J's legit looks great in there. Looks kind of like pearl formed or little tiny beads, and it smells really good. It's got an intense apple aroma, it says, for attractant. I don't really care about that this time of year, but it certainly will bring in a few deer just from the smell. So all I'm going to do is take the back portion of my site and I'm going to put that all around. It's on the ground. Okay, I'm going to dump the whole bag, which in this case is about 5 pounds, not about 5 pounds, it is 5 pounds. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is just mix that in a little bit, in with the dirt with my boot. It doesn't have to be perfect. Once it rains the first time, it's going to take care of most of this to soak it down into the ground. All right, there we go. So when you're setting up these sites, just for the record, you can ask 10 different hunters and you're going to get 10 different answers, and everybody's going to tell you that I did it wrong and they do it right. I guess we'll let the pictures on the camera in a couple of weeks decide who did what right and wrong. I will tell you though that I don't mix minerals or attractants. So I've got the Big and J's kind of at the back, and I'm going to come out to the front here, front side, and that's where I'm going to put the deer cane. So this is 6.5 pounds of deer cane going here, and I'm going to do basically the same thing. Just going to spread it around off the leaves and onto the dirt spot. I'm going to try to make sure I don't mix the two if I can help it. Just keep that white powder up to the front. Now this is store-bought deer cane, about $11 a bag at Canadian Tire. If you want to go ahead, there's a great video I've done on how to make your own deer cane, and I'll put a link up here in the corner to that video right now, where you can see how to make that same type of deer cane for just pennies, as opposed to buying it in the bag. But I had to hike a little ways into here, and I didn't want to bring a whole 10 or 15 pounds of that other stuff in. So anyway, so now I'm just going to do the same thing, kind of mush this into the ground a little bit. Just mix it up with the dirt some. It doesn't have to be a lot. So now I've got basically my spot cleared, and I've got some deer cane out front and some Big and J's legit at the back. And I'm going to put my trophy rock right here in the middle, my salt rock, and then as far as the mineral goes, it'll be done and just be time to hang the camera. Okay, so there's my spot all set. So that's all the mineral I'm going to use, and that's my nice salt rock, and that's a 12-pound salt rock. That'll stay here all season long, right from, like I say, it's May, 1st of May. So it'll stay right through, and I'll hunt over that rock too if I get the right bucks coming to this location. Time to hang the camera. And oh, just before I forget, all this trash that you bring into the woods, please make sure you take that stuff out of the woods with you. Plastic bags and all that foolishness. And I don't just mean take it away from your spot and throw it. I mean take it out of the woods and take it home with you. Nothing any more frustrating, finding garbage laying all over the woods. That's just my opinion. What do I know? Anyway, next up we're going to hang the camera. And in this case, I've got a Browning cam. It's one of the micro cams, and I love the Browning cams. Stay tuned to the NBWildman channel. We're going to be doing a review of this exact camera a little later on. I'll be posting that too. So just a great camera. The only thing I consider when hanging the camera is sun. I don't want a bunch of early morning sun pictures and late sun pictures. So basically south is this way, north is straight behind me. So I'm going to end up hanging my camera probably facing, you know, in that south, kind of southwest area. So I'll do that, and I'll show you just how far away you should probably be hanging these micro cams. They take pictures at quite a distance, so I usually hang my cameras a little farther away than most, and that's just personal preference. So they seem to trigger quite a ways out. So I'll set that up, and then I'll show you what that looks like, and we'll get out of here and let the deer start coming in. Okay guys, so here's my camera setup. I ended up having to change around a little bit just because of some beech trees that were in the area, but my camera's facing north. So here's the cam, and it's about 4.5 to 5 feet up off the ground. And I always screw my cameras in, or you can use the strap too, but I like to screw them in. And this is what you're looking at. Basically, you're looking back that way. Okay, so I'm about 8 to 10 yards off of my rock or my mineral site, and I'm kind of looking up that side hill. So that'll be good to give me an idea which direction deer are approaching from, and all of that. So that's pretty much it. The only thing to make sure of is that you know how to run your camera. Make sure you do your motion test and all of those things to make sure you're getting the area that you want for the picture. And other than that, we're pretty much all done with our super secret spot number 1 here. And we're going to sneak back in here. I'm going to leave this site alone for at least 2 weeks, maybe 3. I'll let you know for sure when I come back. Like I say, today is May the 4th, so we'll see what kind of activity we've had back here. I think we're gonna do good at this spot. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this little bit of how I set up this particular spot. And once you find your super secret deer spot, I hope you can set up similar. And other than that, happy hunting from the NBWildman channel.